This actual witch, this is what she does for her living. She's known as a witch. She has a TikTok channel, like every witch should. It's the Crystal Patch, her TikTok account. She's got like 8 million followers.
She's a pretty witch? Or like more like a wicked witch of the West?
She's all right. I mean, she looks like a witch, but she's.
Does she have a little thing right there?
I couldn't see a broom between her legs, but who couldn't? She said, "Do you want to learn how to hex your ex?" Well, let me show you. And I can post the clip if you want on Tony Kurre Radio, but it's pretty vivid. For hexing men, she recommends grabbing a cucumber. She's like a Peroni's commercial is what it is, right?
That's a
and cutting a slit down the side.
Oh.
It's a cucumber, right? We're not using the real thing, but it's cutting a slit down the side. Next, you want to write down their full name and date of birth on a piece of paper of the ex you want to hex.
Okay.
Fold the paper away from you. Then put it inside the slit you just cut in the cucumber.
Oh.
Stuff it all the way down there so you can't see it. Kind of like stuffing a pork chop.
Mm-hmm.
You ever had a stuffed pork chop?
Yes, I have. They're delicious.
Damn good. Like
with stuffing.
I've had
it with crab. I don't like that.
No, it's too much.
Yeah.
Crab should stand on its own.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I am with you. But stuffing.
It's like I would never stuff a hot dog into a steak.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Just
Are you a turducken guy?
I am a turducken
Me
guy.
too. I love that.
If you've never had a turducken,
this is our cooking segment, by the way. We're just shifting over there.
Thanksgiving's right around the corner.
I know.
They got those at Mr. P's. They're really good.
Do they really?
They're like you pick one up. It's about this big, but it weighs 400 pounds.
Yeah, well, because they got to cram all.
And it's like $700 for one. Because it's all meat. There's no bones.
Right.
Some people don't like it because there's no bones. They're like, how's that possible?
You couldn't have it.
But
with
turducken is a turkey instead of a duck inside of a chicken.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. And I mean, you cut through and it's all meat, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you cut a slice of that. It's like a piece of chocolate cake. You slice a piece of that.
It's like
one
chocolate
slice
decadence. Yes, it is.
It is so good.
Okay.
It is. Well, we don't eat enough duck in this country.
No, we don't eat a lot of duck.
And duck is good if it's prepared correctly.
Yeah, because otherwise it's too gamey.
So you fold it in there and you put it inside the slit you just cut.
Mm-hmm.
Next, you add some chili flakes.
Oh, nice.
To make sure that whatever you're trying to get your ex on, it burns.
Okay.
So you sprinkle them chili flakes.
Sounds like an appetizer.
Over the open wound. This is something you could eat until this point.
Okay.
Then you take screws, nails, glass, and anything else sharp and start jamming it in to the cucumber.
You got to have a pretty, so your slit can't be too deep. Like, I mean, it's got to be deep enough to get the paper in. You got to be careful because the cucumber is going to fall apart.
Yeah, a good cucumber you can cut open pretty good.
No,
as long as you leave the ends.
That's what I'm saying. You could screw that up, but like you can have. You know what? If we're gonna do this, I think you need to buy yourself at least 4 or 5 cucumbers because I feel like you're gonna mess up the first.
Well, and again, you're not sticking like 12 or 13 things. They're sticking a couple. This almost sounds like a voodoo doll kind of.
Well, it's exactly what it is.
But you stick the screws in, and she showed a picture, and it's got glass and there's some piece of rust in there, and then put some more chili powder or chili stuff over it. She said, "Give that shit some energy."
Yeah, okay.
Give it some energy.
I like that.
And then you take a piece of twine that's no longer than 2 feet long and wrap it up.
Sounds like a pork roast.
A little bit like a pork roast, yes.
And then what?
And then you take that thing and you put it out somewhere far away from you and you leave it. And that's hexing your ex. And she said it will affect your ex, probably that.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Is it designed specifically to affect parts of him, like his genitalia?
I would assume that we're using the cucumber for a reason.
Well, it's a phallic symbol, and it represents him.
The 2 most important parts of a male is his wallet and his wiener. So if you can't get his wallet, then you might as well go for that part. But that's a real live witch.
Great.
She's
Does she have
telling
a
you
testicle hex?
No, I think the wiener's enough.
Okay.
He could be fixed. Maybe he doesn't have them.
We still got him.
No, he ain't got them. Once he gets that taken away, it's done. But that's how to hex your ex's genitalia.
That's nice. Thank you for that help. We had cooking.
That's weird. It's weird because I don't believe in that crap. Obviously, I don't believe in that stuff.
I don't know. You just got divorced.
But yeah, if I go to her house and she's got a drawer full of cucumbers, my ass is moving.
No, you won't. Or if you find one out in your backyard.
if she comes by the house whipping cucumbers at me with screws and nails and glass in it, I'm going to move to another
you have to
city.
just lay down. I would when the show's over, I would walk your perimeter.
Yeah.
And just make sure that there's.
I don't believe in that stuff.
No.
I don't believe in voodoo dolls. I don't. But there is just a little piece that says if something bad happens, it may have something to do with not necessarily the act of doing a cucumber, but her negative energy.
Sure.
And how it makes me react. That's why we believe in superstitions.
Yes.
That's why baseball players walk over lines, because we think it makes a difference. And if we think it makes a difference,
then it can.
It can.
Okay.
Explain that a little bit.
No, I thought you were going to flip into psychology. This is great.
It's true,
No, it
because
is.
so
Now-
from that standpoint, superstitions are the same guy sits. I was watching a game last night.
Well,
I had
that
the over
one
a
doesn't
game,
work.
and I was not going to. And when I play football games, and a lot of people like to make, for entertainment purposes only, some casual
Silly.
bets. When I watch a game from start to finish, I've got a lot better chance at winning that bet than I do if I don't watch it at all. I have scientific proof. It is true that when I watch a game,
we've done this before.
when I watch a game, I win it
no.
60% of the time. When I don't, I'm just telling you now.
but
Now,
that's-
don't screw me up, because I won last night. And then after the game was over and I won it, and it was like halfway through the fourth quarter, I wouldn't even change the channel because I felt like it did me a favor. I don't want to mess up the mojo. I'm like, you know what? I watched you. You won for me, and now I will enjoy the rest of the ball game knowing I have nothing to worry about. But that's why superstitions work. But talk about psychologically, go.
Okay. So superstitions for like athletes absolutely have a psychological impact that is very real, because you asked about it, like the way that they walk up, the clothes that they wear. I got to wear a certain shoe. I got to wear a certain sock, because it has a direct impact on their behavior, right? So it totally makes sense. It totally makes sense. Any superstition that an athlete, or even, it doesn't have to be an athlete, anything that involves you doing something. So you have your superstition, and then you believe that whatever that superstition is going to affect the way you perform actions. Okay. I'm totally buy into that. Totally makes sense.
I know exactly where you're going here.
Because it absolutely can. Again,
here,
right. If I'm
can make you
thinking,
perform it. That's where we have the yips.
absolutely. And it can be yips in golf, baseball, bed, business. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Okay. The part where I think is so funny, and again, I kind of like doing this because it's poking fun at the sports fan. You have absolutely no influence when you're sitting at home, because, and mind you, I said sitting at home.
Yes, because if you're at the game, you do have an influence.
Yeah, you contribute to an influence.
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely.
yes.
Now the shirt that you wear, I'll even give you that, because the shirt that you wear, maybe. But when you're at home, you have absolutely zero influence on the impact of that game. Zero. There's nothing that you do. Now, you believe that you do. You feel that you do. And I'm not going to tell you don't feel it, but I am going to tell you that you have zero influence on that game at all. Because if you break it down, and this is what I'd love to do when people feel that superstition, explain to me how you're influencing that game.
Oh, telekinesis, mentalism.
Okay.
Well, we'll have David Merlin on in 10 minutes.
So, okay.
No, I'm
Now,
transferring
I don't believe
my
that, but if that's what you're...
prayer works. I'm
Prayer, so you're asking God to have your team
well,
win? Come on now.
have you ever been to an Alabama game on a Saturday, and how many people are like this when they're going for a kick?
But isn't that... Are we not
God
supposed to
answers
do-
all prayers,
are we
my
not-
friend.
Oh, jeez.
And he's going, you know what?
So
This guy's praying much harder than this guy over here from
my
Ole Miss, so we're going to take
God.
Alabama today. Yes. Blessings, my friend. Blessings.
Really?
Thank you very much.
Come on, I know
I know exactly what you're saying, but this is like telling someone that the Easter Bunny's not real.
Yeah,
If they want to believe it, then you're allowed to believe it. And that's
I'm
why
not
we still
gonna-
believe in Santa Claus.
Yes.
You don't
Now-
want to ruin it for them, because there's a lot of people that have a special place on their couch, or they wear
Totally fine.
the whole Dr.
Now,
Pepper.
where it gets into trouble. Well, quickly, two things. One, where it gets in trouble is if you start developing a problem with the gambling. Right?
Yeah.
I'm wearing my shirt. Look, honey, you've mortgaged our house. But I got the right shirt on. We're going to be okay. So that's the problem. But I was going to ask you just super quickly, because horse racing to me,
Oh, man. You want to talk about some superstitions?
well, but you know what? That's not superstition. because superstition still wouldn't work. So if you've done your research on your team,
Yeah.
and you're betting on a team based on your knowledge of the team, that's not superstition. That's just doing your homework.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's called handicapping.
Yes. So I'm good. I'm all good with that. It's the if I wear my shirt, my team wins. Now I will tell you this. I'm just saying this. Whenever I watch my UCLA Bruins play basketball, it seems as if, and I've done this, I always put my sweatshirt on.
Yes.
And they lose.
Yes.
Which is counter, right? So if I'm not wearing my UCLA gear, then they win.
Now, this is where
So I don't know what that means.
I have a little bit of a loophole. I totally get what you're saying, and you know where I come from a fan standpoint. I'm not going to tell a fan not to sit in a certain part of the couch. Or
look.
But when you don't have your lucky charm, your rabbit's foot, your jersey, you're sitting on the particular part of the couch, you're leaving at a particular time, whatever it is, right? Then, depending on what you have tied to that game, I'm not just talking about wins and losses. Let's go to the gambling thing because gamblers are incredibly superstitious.
Right, well, that's fine.
The one thing that it's happened to me so many times. It's irreparable to your gambling habits too. I've been to Vegas. Whenever someone says you're good,
yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's the worst thing that anyone can ever say to anybody in a casino. Oh, you're good on this one, or you got it, or it's in. You don't ever want to hear that because
you
never wins. I cannot remember, and I've had people. They're called schlep rocks. They come up when they screw with you. They're these
are they real
pieces of shit. Never have anything on the money. They say, "Well, who you got today?" And I'm like. And sometimes I'll tell them I have the wrong side, and that's the bad mojo. I tell them the side I got, and then I just try to get the hell away from them. But the hex is already on. They've already asked me the question. It's over. It's already done. And so if you're not wearing your proper garb or in your right spot or have your right superstition, you oversleep, whatever, then you may end up making a bad bet.
Now
based on how you feel, and so you inadvertently have something to do. That's a loophole, but
it's a loophole, but that's one that I would put in my arsenal. Because it is having an impact on your behavior, not your team's behavior.
Yes,
that is good.
Yeah,
that is really good. If it makes you like an athlete, right? Because if you've got your garb on. And because betting is your action.
Yeah.
You still can't control the team, but you control how much and what. So I love that.